What's going on, race fans? Tyler with That Racing Channel. I'm here in Famoso, California at Famoso Speedway, and I'm running with the IROZ crew. So if you guys don't know Hank Iroz, this man is a genius when it comes to the Audi RS3, and he has been putting up some crazy numbers in his little 5-cylinder. Today they are shooting for 7s in their blue car. It is going to be an event, and let's take a look.
All right, so I'm Hank from IROZ Motorsport. We're out here at Famoso Speedway in California, and we're hoping to put the blue car into the 7s. The blue car just keeps getting parts developed on it. We had gone pretty far on some pretty basic suspension, KW suspension, but we were just getting to the point where the car was just making too much power and too much tire. It just needed more. So we've been working with a company called JRI that is developing some really cool single tube struts for it that will help us to be able to get out of the hole. So the expectations, the car's gone 808 at 174. If all goes well, I think that we can 60 foot a little bit better, and we should be able to sink it a little bit deeper. This blue car behind me is a car that we bought in 2017 to develop the platform. It's one of the first cars that was available in the States, and we snatched one up to start testing and make them go faster. This car went 12.1 at 112 miles an hour. Bone stock, and we've gone through various stages with the car to bring it up to the 1,300 plus horsepower it is now, running, you know, low 8s.
Oh man.
What do you think?
All right, so 8.2 first pass.
Yeah, so no nitrous. That was just all turbo right there, so we should be able to get it pretty fast today.
Was that the fastest pass of the car?
That's the fastest I've ever gone without nitrous, so that's fast. Yeah.
So, such a test hit.
Yeah, sorry about that. It was a struggle to get into the line. I haven't run the car for a while, so a lot of changes. We'll have to tighten that up a little bit.
I'm excited to see how fast it goes today. 8.2 straight off the trailer.
I might get it.
All right.
Digging in with the turbo kit, it's something that we manufacture here in Las Vegas. American-made parts, such as the turbocharger, which is a Zona Rotor 10569S. And we make the manifolds, the downpipes, the charge pipes, all that stuff's made here in-house in Las Vegas. And this car behind me is no different than any other kit that we sell off the shelf. It's just our IMS 1100 kit. It's attached to our Series 3 long block, which is based off a sleeved block that we put sleeves in, and then big head studs and our CNC cylinder head. The crank is stock, but we have upgraded rods and pistons that we throw in them. As far as the software side goes, this is all being controlled by Syvex. We do our own calibration here in-house, and I think we're #1 or #2 Syvex dealer in the world at this point, so we know Syvex very, very well. TCU side of things is controlled by Unitronic. They're responsible for making sure that it's shifting properly and that clutch pressures are where they need to be. We work really close with them, not only with the race car, but with the cars that we build every single day. It has a DCT 1300 clutch in it that helps get the power to the ground. Instead of having 5 and 6 clutch packs, it has 8 and 9 clutch packs per side on the dual clutch. This transmission is really kind of the jewel of the car. It's the reason why the cars are so fast. It is a 7-speed, and it's just a brick house. It's pretty wild. This car behind me has seen thousands of dyno pulls. It's seen hundreds of drag passes. It's seen thousands of road pulls. Still on the stock gear sets, which is pretty unheard of in today's day and age to have a transmission that's that robust. The DQ500 is a monster. You have a wave track in the front, and we have a wave track in the rear. And the center differential is being controlled by Syvex. You know, that's why we can do a front wheel drive burnout, is because we can decouple the center diff completely and then do a burnout and then stage with it almost locked 50-50 front to rear. And then as you start going down the track and you start going through gears, you can start to bleed off the center to where you can run through the traps front wheel drive again, which makes it a pretty dang efficient transmission for being able to to put power down, especially on a small displacement engine like the 2.5 liter 5-cylinder.
How's it feeling?
Feels good. So I just got to get through some traction and try to see where we can add power. Not a lot of track after probably like that 60 foot to like 330 area. We can definitely use some more track. But I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll start asking them if it gets close.
Yeah. All right, for sure.
Like, hey, can you lay down some more there?
Yeah.
Channel your inner Jason Miller.
All right. Well, I'm wishing you the best.
Drive shaft stock in it. We've broken a couple of them, but as long as you're smooth with power delivery, you can keep the drive shaft together. The axles are somewhat fragile in these cars from the factory, but lucky for us, we have a really good relationship with the drive shaft shop. Big shout out to Tad. He always is helping us improve the product and helps us go a lot faster. We're running ethanol 1 fuel in this car. It's 117 octane racing fuel. And to be able to put that much fuel volume into the car, we have the stock direct injectors, and then we have the secondary injectors that are being fed by ID 1700X low pressure side injectors. We also have the new ID brushless fuel pump controller in this car and a single E5LM fuel pump. It's pretty wild. It has 1 fuel pump. We're making a little over 1,300 horsepower with this car, and it's not even breathing. I think we're running at like 70% duty cycle at like 9 bar of fuel pressure, and it's not even trying. So we're pretty excited about Injector Dynamics developing that product here this year and getting that out to market. It's a big game changer in the fuel injection world. As far as the suspension goes, we're using JRI. It's a really cool single tube strut. It's where we think we're going to get a lot of speed this year. We switched from some KWs onto that suspension, and we've dropped quite a bit of time out of the 60 foot, and it's super consistent now.
At 174. How's that last run for you guys?
So I gave it a little more aggressive a launch, so finally did a 129 that we've been chasing all day to get back to where we were with the old suspension. So 1299 for the 60 foot. 350 for the 330, so it needs to shift a little cleaner to be able to get here. So this is the first trip that we've been out on some new transmission software that we've been developing, so there's a few little kinks to work out with that. But I'm pretty confident we can go 128, and with this much power it's gonna go. So
it's gonna go. That's awesome.
Yes, I mean that last was a 128, which is my best 60 foot ever. So suspension started to get dialed in. Got about 110 minutes left, a little under 2 hours. We don't really need much more power. I just got to figure out how to string together. We've trapped 141 in the 8th on the last 2 hits ago. Yeah. And but it was on a 135/60, and this last one we strung together a 128, which my guess is I was going to need to do 127 and 175 with the perfect shifting and everything going perfect for it to get in, but it's close. It's super close.
So why did you get out of it on the last one?
Just didn't shift second clean, and you know, this car takes a little bit of time to cool down, so if it ain't perfect at this point, it's better to coast out of it and try to get back and cool it. It's just going to take a perfect 1-2 shift and a perfect 2-3 shift, and then the rest should go pretty golden. Well, I let out way before the 8th, but the 129, if we could stitch together just that like 200 to 400 foot mark, we'd have it in the bag. Just can't quite get the car to do what we want it to do. If we took out some power, it'd probably shift, but if we take out some power, it's probably not going to go 7, so it's kind of a hard spot to be in.
Yeah, unless we just add it up top, 3 and 4.
Yeah, we could do that, but I still think without just gobbling up that short time, you're not going to get it in the back half.
Yeah. It's always hard to make
the motor.
Are we back to 100%?
No, I'm not. Up top, I'm not. But if it doesn't shift, it doesn't shift. There's no point in trying, really. Well, you're saying take out of 1-2?
Pull some back out of second, and then just add it back up at top.
Yeah.
So put it to 100% third and fourth. And drop it like probably 10%.
I feel like it did shift it better once we did some like we did after the clutches.
Yeah.
Should we do that real quick?
But if we do it, we're on the risk of messing up. I don't know. I mean, if we can't get it on this one, we can always try it for the last one.
Yeah. No, I'm down with that.
Got like 2 more runs left, huh? Before this one.
Yeah, I think 2. If we have any breakdowns, we're screwed. But
yeah. 817 at 174. All right, so how'd that last one go?
Yeah, so I didn't quite get it. You know, we tried to rush a couple in there at the last minute, but didn't quite get it for the day. We learned a ton, though. You know, it's pretty easy to get down on days like this where you had a goal and need to get it and don't quite get it, but there's a lot to take home from the day. I think we'd only 60-footed 129 before. That was our fastest pass ever in the 60-foot, and today we probably did that 7 or 8 times. So we really got that 60-foot dialed. We see where we can improve in the suspension. We'll send those back. We'll be back out. Yeah, just learn new problems. That's drag racing. You know, we're hoping to figure them out faster than everybody else, and if we can, we'll have faster cars than everybody else. So
I heard if you ran faster than 850, that you wouldn't have been allowed to come back here.
Yeah. She told me to brake at the 1,000-foot, which I'm sure she thinks I did her a solid, but really the car just wasn't working. So.
Well, like I said, I mean, that is racing, right? I mean, some days you come out and crush it, and the next day you learn something.
Yeah, I mean, it's so we went 808 at Sacramento, which is not very far off what we did today. Today I think we did
2817s.
2817. So we're less than a 10th off of the pace. It's just 1,000 feet of DA. That's all it takes sometimes. You need to get lucky a little bit. And I mean, our big problem today was just we couldn't put the power down. I mean, it's just the track wasn't supporting what we wanted to put down in second. And so it'd spin, and if it spun, then it was having a hard time shifting. So, you know, you win some, you lose some. I was talking to the organizer, and it's the fastest car that ran this last 3 days here. So there's some pretty serious muscle cars here and whatnot, and we were the fastest car that ran down that track this weekend. So it's probably the first time it's ever been an Audi at an event like this, right?
Well, it's been a pleasure here in the camp. I really appreciate you.
Yeah.
And can't wait to see what the car does. I know 7s are in the very near future.
Yeah, we'll get it. I still think we got a good shot at doing it this year. That's the goal. So. So this is Jeff Thompson's car over here. Very basic IMS 1000 setup. Has our manifold on it, has our 1000 horsepower Zona Rotor 9569 kit. It's just running on ethanol, and it ran 899 without any nitrous, and pretty much the way you see it right now. No, it's exactly the way you see it right now. So it ran with some DR2s, but basically a full interior car that just had the back seats out of it, but factory front seats, floor mats, exactly the way that he drives it. Yeah, so the Nardo car also in it. It's coming back to Vegas to get some other upgrades put on it. I think he wants to spray some nitrous now going forward, so it's coming back to Vegas, but it also went $899 yesterday. What's fun about this car is that I didn't even know it was coming to the event until about 3 hours before it. He mentioned that he was going to be there, and you know, his name's Ira, and he asked me if he could pit with us, and I said, no, we can do more than that. I think I can put that thing into the 8s. And he was just like blown away. He's like, no way. And I'm like, I'm pretty sure I can do it. And this car was kind of challenging yesterday because it has stock axles, stock drive shaft, and you know, they're just really weak, especially the front axles. And so, you know, all day long we couldn't just go out there and throw a big pass down and then dial it back. Like, we really didn't have much choice just to creep up on it. So I think we did like 7 or 8 passes on it, 8th mile passes, and just kept creeping up and putting a little more power in smooth and to try to keep it from shocking that front end. And you know, finally the last pass of the day, we decided that we had enough to be able to go 8s and send it. It should have trapped a lot higher, but all day long we were just testing 8th mile because we didn't want to get booted off the track, and we never had tested the shift point for the 4 to 5 gear shift. So he ended up going through the traps in 4th gear on the limiter because it didn't shift, but we didn't know because that was the first time we'd actually tested that. He was pumped. He came here not expecting to actually go that fast, and yeah, you're looking at the only 8-second RS3s on Earth right now are these 3 cars. So, and they're all right here. Nothing like an 8-second street car being driven back from California to Las Vegas, exactly how it went down the drag strip.